Yes, people, welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you are all well. It's time for another match preview, Chelsea versus West Ham, as West Ham United take the away day trip over to the west side of London, the posh side, as we take on Chelsea to try and overtake Manchester United back into that sixth spot in the Premier League. Hope you're all well watching. If you are, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, check out our channel sponsors, SIM Carver & Son, by clicking the link in the description down below. It's 2v1 tonight. Steve, firstly, who's a Chelsea fan. Steve, mate, how are you?
Doing very well, thanks, Jake. You?
Yeah, not bad at all. And I am joined by Gary. Gary, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Jake. Yourself?
Yeah, not bad at all. Right then, without further ado, I think let's get into it. And Steve, I'll start with you from a Chelsea perspective. A bit of a strange couple of weeks, especially from the performance midweek. Are you confident for this?
No, like you say, a bit of a strange performance midweek. It looked as though we should have won that quite easily, and we somehow managed to do a Real Madrid again almost, and just contrived to throw the game down the toilet, really. So I wasn't confident, but we've played so few league games in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
It's almost a strange experience. I think the players must think they're all cup games now, because they play so many cup games and so many non-league games that they must be really confused. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm reasonably confident that we should be okay. But if we play like we played on midweek, then who knows? We're for the taking.
Well, I think Chelsea certainly are. Just before we come to you, Gary, here he is. Mike, you right, mate?
Evening, guys. Yeah, a bit late getting home from Bristol. Sorry.
Hey, Mike.
So, I was wondering, where's Mike? Where's Mike?
You've got to stay behind for detention.
Gary, coming off the back of European and everything about that, and then not a fantastic performance last weekend against Burnley. We've had a week to rest. Are you confident?
Do you know what, Jake? I really don't know about tomorrow, because obviously we had the bad news about Diop since last game. So what he's going to do at the back, I have no idea, and that worries me a little, to be honest. So I'm a little bit nervous. The fact we are refreshed is good, but Thursday night's obviously the big game. So it'll be very interesting tomorrow. I'm apprehensive, Jake. I think it's the word, apprehensive.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. Not quite sure what's going to happen. Mike, obviously, with everything taken into consideration, it's a hard one to know kind of your feeling about, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a difficult game. Obviously, Thursday's so much more important. I mean, I just wouldn't risk anyone. They're saying Zuma's been training and whatever, but there's no way, you play him in that game. No. Thursday is just a massive game for us.
Yeah,
I think it's not Ben Johnson into the back four. I don't see him, because Chelsea play with a back three, don't they? But I don't see us matching up. I don't like us when we play with a back five anyway. It don't suit us at all. So I'm just hoping he puts Ben Johnson in there. To be totally honest, I'd like to see a Lace in there, but he obviously played for the under-23s last night. So, I mean, it's a game where we could have played him in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a game where we think, okay, it's not the end of the world. Let's give the guy a go.
It could be like a trial run, though, Mike, for Thursday, don't you think? What he plays tomorrow?
Well, yeah, I think, Gary, you might be right there, because he knows he's got to do something for Thursday night. So maybe give someone a go who he thinks could do the job on Thursday as well, and keep the team together for those two games. We know what he's like. He doesn't like to change the team too much.
No.
He's not going to make too many changes. We all know that. And he was unlikely to throw the young lad in anyway.
Yeah, we're going to get into a starting lineup prediction a little bit later on, but this was the game for a youngster to come in, and we just know it's not going to happen. It's never going to happen, I'm afraid. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. I see who we got in the chat. Louis, hope you all come on your ones. West Ham are massive everywhere we go. Hope you will. Budgie, Green Street Elites, hope you well. I haven't pre-recorded, done a show with Budgie over on Green Street Leads. Go and check that out. I'll find the link and put it in for you after you've watched this in just a second. Go and subscribe to Budgie's channel over there. Does some good stuff, so you can go and find him over there. Robertson as well. Hope you're well, Robert. How are you feeling? How is everybody in the chat feeling about this game for tomorrow? Steve, as we said a little bit earlier, it's been a bit of a mixed match for Chelsea over the last week or so. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
It is hard. I mean, we've got basically the FA Cup final to think about, because I think it's generally accepted that third place isn't going to go anywhere for us. You guys, I believe, are in a tricky situation, because it'd be great if you could leapfrog Man United into 6th. Because that would help your European ambitions for next year. But winning next Thursday will also help your European ambitions for next year. So it's a bit of a sort of a double-edged sword for you guys. Do you go for it tomorrow and try and make 6th place on the league game, or do you conserve yourselves for Thursday and know that you've still got games in hand or games to play, that you can still leap over the United? As far as we're concerned, who knows what he's going to play, because he's playing some strange, Tuchel's playing some strange selections at the moment. I was surprised to see Lukaku play against Arsenal. I was surprised to see the back three we played against Arsenal. He's obviously trying to utilise his squad, but I think the thing is that the back 3/5 have been fairly well settled. So why would you want to start messing with that? And I think that upset the rhythm of the team a bit.
Yeah.
We've always rotated strikers, so that we know that. But I still think that starting with Lukaku is a bit strange.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty strange rest of the season, because obviously there's the FA Cup final, which is the biggest game for the rest of Chelsea's season. A chance to get their hands on some silverware against Liverpool. You're gonna finish third. Spurs aren't going to catch you, and you aren't going to catch either Liverpool or Man City. So you've got third. That's pretty much done and dusted. So
Arsenal are only 2 points behind Chelsea now. So
maybe not.
Yeah, but I still think
I think they played again more now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Chelsea got United. Haven't they?
Yeah, well, mind you, you'll get 0 points tomorrow. So might put Arsenal back into it. Let's take some comments. Budgie
must
says,
be really rough when you wake up, Jake.
Budgie says, I've spoken to 3 different Chelsea fans and they all think they're going to win. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of pessimistic Chelsea fans out there in the last few days saying, I think Chelsea are going to win. We've had a couple come in the chat over the last day say, I think you're going to beat us. Well, okay, fair enough. Gary, hope you are well, mate. Plenty of Garys in tonight. Robert says, not bad watching Spurs drop 2 points. Yeah, they're 10 minutes away from dropping 2 points, and all of a sudden Arsenal are in the box seat for this top 4 race again. It changes in 2 matches of football, hey. Razor West Ham, hope you well. Good result seeing Arsenal beating Man United, and Shane Moyes doesn't learn and put an under-23s player in. If I was the under-23s player under Moyes, I would move to another club while Moyes is there, stubborn and spoils his good point. Yeah, it must be incredibly frustrating for a player like Elise, who probably should be starting tomorrow, but he won't. Budgie says, if we get at them, it's ours. I think it is. Yeah, if we get at them, they're vulnerable at the moment, especially with no Rudiger at the back, which Tuchel's confirmed. I think we can get at them. Gary's saying park the bus and respect the point. I hope not. I hope we don't. I hope we don't, Gary. But
I think you're okay as long as you don't have a problem with your back 3, 4, 5, whatever you want to play, and as long as our strikers who can play when they want to, if they all start playing tomorrow, the ones that are selected, then there could be, it could be an interesting first half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it could be. It could well be. Gary, do you think the players have already got half an eye on Thursday night?
I don't think so. I don't think Moyes will let them. I think he'll be very anxious to firstly reverse his bad record at the big top 6. I think he hasn't won a game for us since he's been here at the big 6, so that's keen for him. Secondly, I think we've had a week off. We need to stay sharp and need to focus on the game, because God forbid we don't win the Europa League, then we need to get to Europe next season. So we need to concentrate on getting 6th. So I think this is a good time to play Chelsea, because they're letting in goals. I think the takeover is affecting them myself. I think the whole club's in a bit of a, what's the word, funny phase. No one knows what's going on. So I think we should try and attack them and be positive tomorrow if we can.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and that was my next point coming to Mike. You know, a team that we want to play at the moment. You know, they're defensively not very good. We are weakened defensively, but they're not good defensively. You know, I'd say pretty much every single one of them goals that Arsenal scored could have been avoidable midweek. Probably not the Smith Rowe one, but apart from that, the other three could have been avoidable. I think for Chelsea. Their defence seems to crumble without Rudiger there, and they don't seem to be scoring many goals, especially not of Romelu Lukaku up front, Mike.
Yeah, is Rudiger going to come back or not? As he's going to be out for a while, I imagine. They've missed him big time. He's been their best defender by a long, long way, and he's a very good player. Yeah, they've bound to have been unsettled, haven't they, in the club? To be fair to Chelsea, you know, with what's been going on behind the scenes, it's bound to affect them. I don't know. I think, you know, we should have a go at them. And Moyes will not send the team out there just to sit back and defend and try and get a point. You know, he's going to say, right, come on. Yeah, like Gary just said, it is a time to have a go at Chelsea. You know, so why not? You know, why not? We're not going to gain anything really by getting a point, to be totally honest. I don't think a point's any good for either team, really. So why not go for it?
Agreed.
Why not go for it? Why not go for it, indeed. Mike and Gary, you've both got a crackle with your microphone again. I've got no idea what's going on, but we're going
to... Is mine still bad, is it?
It is. But we'll live with it with a second, and I'll try and sort out. Sharky, hope you're well, mate. Good to see you. Jane as well. Hope you are well. Let's go up. Brownie, hope you're well, mate. Hope you're keeping well. 1 point will keep it alive, Robert, but as Mike just said, and I agree, it's a point's not really any good for us because it keeps us in 7th. I suppose you could call it an opportunity lost because United lost and we had a chance of like we're playing Chelsea, which on their day can be an extremely good side, one of the best in the league. But we've got an opportunity to, on level games, be ahead of them by a point, I think. So 1 point doesn't really do it for both sides, I think. But Steve, of course,
just let me ask the other two guys a question. If you had a choice, 3 points tomorrow or a guaranteed win on Thursday?
There's only one answer.
Yeah, no problem at all.
There's only one answer.
We're not like you, Steve. Chelsea get in Europe every year. This is like a rare event for us. So we really enjoy it.
Oh no. I'd rather if you guys do well. What everybody seems to forget about the European competitions is the more English clubs that do well in European competitions, the more points we get in the Fair Play League. So therefore, the more likely we are to get more teams into the European leagues and the European competitions, rather. So, I will always support any English team playing anybody in a European game because, as far as I'm concerned, it's good for English football and good for the Premier League and et cetera, et cetera. So I will always support a team that's doing well from the Premier League in any European competition because it's the points make prizes, don't they?
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, I think that definitely, and everybody's saying in the chat, so the Frankfurt game on Thursday is way more important to us. As Gary just said, this is a rarity for us. We can't go saying, oh yeah, the Chelsea game's more important than our first European semi-final in over 40 years. We'd be lying if you spoke to probably 95 to 99% of West Ham fans. They'd say they prefer us to win on Thursday and maybe might have to not be at 100% tomorrow, and if it means winning then on Thursday, then so be it, because I think we would all take that. Hammerhead, hope you are well. Hammerhead says, I disagree, we don't want to use up too much energy against Chelsea. I want us to go through against Frankfurt. We all do, but I don't think that park the bus is the way of going about it, if that's what you're referencing. If you're not, I think it's the fact is that they are vulnerable. They're leaking goals for fun. They're not scoring many goals. Lukaku, he's not firing. I'm not doubting they've got some very, very good players. Chelsea, they've got some very good attacking players. But last time Mason Mount played West Ham, he went like this and it backfired on him. And let's hope he does exactly the same again. Gary says, I'm open for the week off since I don't remember the last one we had. Is restful exactly. And how much of a part does that play, Mike? That we've had all week. We haven't had to play Thursday. We've gone Saturday, Sunday. We've had days off.
I mean, up to the last game, I think it was 5 games in 14 days.
Yeah.
We played. I mean, this is unbelievable. A rest of a complete week. It's something we haven't done all season. But to be honestly, Brentford should have scored to hit the post. Never mind.
Chelsea have played the most games this season of any European club.
I think
we played more games than any other
played more.
Any other team.
Yeah, I think we've because we obviously got to the quarterfinal of the League Cup. We had a run in the FA Cup and all these European games, Europa League games. I mean, it's been unbelievable, really, with the small squad that we've had. I think we've done phenomenally
15
well.
players David Moyes uses, pretty much, give or take 15 players David Moyes uses. And, Steve makes a valid point there, because Chelsea have got to the final of the Carabao Cup. They've gone quite deep in the Champions League, and they got to the final of the FA Cup amongst all of the Premier League games as well. So it's
the Royal Club Championship.
And that more games, exactly, just non-stop. Do you think that Chelsea have dealt with it relatively well, considering the amount of games you've had to play and injuries you've had?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we were really flying when we had the 2 wing backs going, James and Chilwell. When those 2 were really firing on all cylinders, we were almost unbeatable. And it's just unfortunate we had a long time without James. We've had an even longer time without Chilwell. And I think the balance of the side's been a bit upset. But, overall, it's been a pretty good season, bearing in mind all the crap that's going on behind the scenes as well. It's really difficult because, I mean, there's potential tomorrow that you'll have more fans there than we've got.
Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Because we can't sell tickets.
I don't understand that. I really don't. It's crazy.
I don't understand that either. I'm sure they could sell the tickets still, and the money could be put into something useful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is, ring fence it. All you got to do is say any ticket sales must be ring fenced into Deloitte's account, and so therefore, when the club is sold, you can, that money will either be distributed to, I don't know, the Ukraine Appeal or Premier League charities or anything. But you don't stop you don't stop any business from trading. There's an argument to say that it could even be against European law because we're still part of the European Union for European law for that sort of thing. So, Chelsea could take an argument to the court, and I'm sure they won't, to say that, they've been, it's a bit like, I don't know, Jake won't remember this, but if you remember Kerry Packer in the cricket circus back in the day, Mike will remember that, when he went off and set up the cricket circus, and the England and Wales Cricket Board banned all the players. And they took the ECB to court because you can't ban players from earning their living, which is effectively what they were doing.
I think it's wrong because the way I look at these type of things, if it was against us, I'd be fuming. To be fair, if we couldn't sell away tickets, if we couldn't sell home tickets apart from season ticket holders, I think it's a massive disadvantage, because you can see when I watched it on Wednesday night or Tuesday night, whenever it was, the main stand at the other end was there. That was pretty much packed. But then you look around and there's blocks that are pretty much empty. And Chelsea fans don't deserve that. As much as I don't particularly like Chelsea, they don't deserve that. It's just not very good. Not very good. Right then, let's take some comments up. Frank Sharky says Frankfurt drew 2-2 early against Hoffenheim, so they've played on Saturday, so they've got an extra day's rest at a Thursday night. Brilliant. Let's have a look here. He's here. Don't you fear. I'll tell you what, I was just thinking, where's Simon? He said he'd be here. He's here. I'm here. Don't panic. We're not panicking, Simon. Just here to give us all of that Chelsea nonsense that we just want to hear. I'll probably just my late list. Here we go. Emergency cutting the grass. Is that an emergency, was it? Instead of what coming here? I see.
The grass grew quickly.
Yeah, extremely quickly, just extremely quickly. It was just shot up like that. Shot up.
It,
East lower. East Lower was empty, was it? Was it? Oh, indeed. Yeah. Simon, I messaged you on Instagram. If you, I don't think you've seen that on the phone. There it is. I messaged you on Instagram. If you want to get back to me, you can. If you don't, I don't mind. But let's move on then. So key players tomorrow. Before we go into predicted lineups, key players. Gary, I'll come to you. Apart from Jarrod Bowen, a key player for West Ham tomorrow.
Obviously Declan. It's always a big game for him to come back to Chelsea, his old stamping ground. He always wants to impress, so he'll be hopefully at his best. Souček, I think, is starting to come back into form. I've been quite impressed in the last few weeks, so I think he's someone to watch out for. And any of our defenders, Jake, because they all need to step up tomorrow. Any of them.
Yeah. No, they do. They do, definitely. I'm not going to say Bowen. I'm not going to say Rice. I'm going to say the one, the only. Mike, who is it?
Oh, it's got to be Craig Dawson, mate, because he's the only centre half we got, full stop, left.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big game for him, and whoever plays alongside him. If we do go with a back four or even a back three, the two that play alongside him. So it's a big game for him. He's been awesome. He's been absolutely brilliant all season. And I just hope whoever comes in alongside him that, they have a good game as well. Because, Chelsea, they've still got a lot of threat going forward. There's no doubt about it. Havertz and, Lukaku's been out of sorts, but he's got quite a good record against us, worse luck, from his old days at Everton and wherever. I think, the obvious ones, Rice is always a big player for us. Bowen is as well, but another man as well, Antonio. He's due that goal. He's going to get one soon.
Yeah.
And I hope
better place.
Thursday night, but joking aside, I'd like to see him score one tomorrow as well, just to give him a bit of confidence to go into Thursday night.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's get his scoring form back up and running ahead of Thursday night. So just before we get our next guest on, Steve, your key player for Chelsea tomorrow?
Probably Havertz, if he plays. But then he's been on the bench the last two games. So Werner's been preferred to him. And to be fair, Werner's had a good run. He's not maybe scored as many as he should have done, but he's tireless, works hard, has become a bit of a supplier. So, Havertz would be the one, because if Havertz is in the mood, he's almost unplayable, and could present a problem for a, shall we say, depleted backline that you may have.
Yeah, he's got that bit about him for sure. But let's get our next guest on, all the way over from Green Street Elites, the one, the only. Budgie, I think first time on the channel. Budgie, how are you, mate? You all right?
I'm very well, thank you, Jake. How are you, mate? Thank you for the invite.
Yeah, not bad. And Spurs have dropped 2 points, as everybody seems to be doing, dropping points against Brentford. So Arsenal back in the box seat for that top four race now. There we go. Mount scored the first goal. In your dreams, Simon, in your dreams. He's going to be so quiet tomorrow because the absolute torment he had when he went like this to West Ham fans, and then Masuaku pinged that in. He's going to be absolutely, just completely petrified tomorrow. But it's time to do a predicted lineup. Now we've got 3 West Ham fans to go through this. Now you can't even see me. Brilliant. Let's take that off and start off in goal. Gary, we'll start with you. We're going to do a predicted lineup with Steve in a second. But firstly, quick fire through. In goal, Fabianski. Gary?
For sure, that's the easy one, yeah.
Yeah, okie dokie then. Centre-back, firstly, who've we got? Mike, the centre-back pairing.
I think it'd be Dawson and Johnson.
Yeah, I agree. So we've got Fabianski, there we go, in goal. We're going to have the one, the only, Ballon Dawson, and then Ben Johnson next to him. Budgie, our 2 fullbacks, starting on the left-hand side.
I actually think that it'll be Creswell in the centre back position and Johnson on the left.
I agree. That's what I think.
Mate.
That's how I think it's going.
I'll tell you what, for purposes of this, so I don't have to change it, we can interchange these two how you like. Creswell and Johnson are going to switch. We're going to have that. Right back, Budgie, we go in Soufal.
I'll go for Soufal, yeah.
We'll go with Soufal in there. To be fair, Gary, you're getting the easy ones. Are the two defensive midfielders?
Oh, let me think.
That's a tough one.
Very tough
Really
one.
tough one. Really tough one. The player in the number 10, Lanzini or Ben Rama, Mike?
I think it'd be Lanzini.
Yeah, so do I.
Agreed.
Indeed. And then Budgie, left-hand side and right-hand side of midfield?
It's going to be Bowen on the right, and it's going to probably be Fornells on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Gary, you've had the really difficult ones today. I wonder who we're going to put up front.
Oh, Jake, you tested my brain tonight.
I know. Oh, and the cut, and I haven't spelled his name right. Brilliant. Antonio up front. So that's the lineup we've gone with. Interchangeable with Creswell and Johnson, but Fabianski in goal, Creswell/Johnson, Dawson, Creswell/Johnson, and Soufal. Souček, Rice, Lanzini, Fornells, Bowen, and Antonio. Can't see much wrong with that. Steve, when you look at...
I push Fornells to a left wing back myself. Play a 5 at the back.
Oh, Gary, don't test me with a back five. No. But Gary might switch Pablo Fornells down into here and make that in to a back five. Steve, when you look at that, does it fear you at all or not?
Partly because it's a reasonably settled lineup, and I know you've had problems with the back line and what have you, but there was no dispute between any of you as who should fit in to fill the gap. So I don't think there's any major problem with the lineup. It's a lineup that knows each other, which is always dangerous for the opposition.
And no squad, Steve. So when you go to the cupboard, there's only baked beans in. You'll have baked beans for tea.
Well,
no choice.
I mean, that helps. That helps. That if you only got 15 to choose from, you can only choose 15. Yeah, I appreciate that. But it is. But I think that thing about you've got a small squad and they play together regularly is probably worth a lot of points and goals over the duration of the season.
No, you're right.
I agree.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see whether any of you guys in the chat are. Oh, hello, Fredericks at right back. I like a bit of that. I'm not going to lie. I like a bit of that. Fredericks at right back, perhaps for that bit of pace that we just don't have.
I like Ryan. I think he's a good player. I like Fredericks a lot. So it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah. Maybe Areola comes in for his first start. Maybe we like miraculous goalkeeping performances at Stamford Bridge. Maybe that could be another one. Yeah, Dawson just defensively enough. It'll be enough. But Steve, right, you're on your own. What formation are you going for in terms of a Chelsea lineup?
Well, it's going to be a back 3/5, however you want to describe it. And then
so should we go for a 3-4-2-1, a 3-4-1-2? Your options are galore.
3-4-2-1.
3-4-2-1. Right, we'll have that. Let's bring that up on screen for you then. So in goal, Mendy.
Yeah, I can't see him changing. I mean, Mendy's had a bit of a nightmare over the last few weeks, but I can't see him changing for a league game.
No. The three centre backs then. Who are you going for?
Okay, centre will be Silva, I think. Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
Or
Who else?
depending what you call him.
Yeah.
Thiago. And then it will be, I think, Sarr on the left.
Uh-huh.
And then it will be James on the right.
Reece James, indeed.
Which I don't necessarily agree with. I don't think James should be there. I think I don't think he should be there. But then that's a different thing. Centre midfield. I mean, I'd like to think that we have either probably Jorginho in there, but I don't know if he's injured or not.
Well, we'll go with it now because you've said it.
I don't know the current state of affairs with the injuries at Stamford Bridge because they keep them fairly quiet, to be honest with you. Don't tell anybody, do they?
No.
Right.
Him,
let me think about. Sorry.
To partner him next to Jorginho.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Trying to think who would be best for the formation you've just come up with. Let me come back to that one.
All right, fair enough. Right of midfield or wing back?
Yeah, that's going to be Azpilicueta on that side.
Christ, I just spelled his name. We'll put in Caesar.
AZPIL should come up.
Just spell Dave, because that's what they call him.
Yeah, I know. I want to put in Dave. I would spell it flipping out. Aspil. Oh, I don't know.
Just put in AZ, it would come up, shouldn't it?
AZ. There can't be many AZs.
AZP, isn't
Oh,
it?
is it Z, is it? Aspil.
Yeah.
There he is. Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Left wing back.
Probably going to be Alonso to start.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Bowen will like a bit of that. The left forward.
I think that'll be Werner.
Coming back into some form, that's for sure. The right forward.
I'd like to think that is going to be Mount.
Not Lampard then. 10 men couldn't carry. Mount. Okie dokie. And leading the line up top.
Yeah. Sorry?
Kerry Dixon.
Kerry Dixon. Peter Osgood, much better. Peter Osgood, much better. Leading the line, I think it's going to be Havertz. I'd like to see it. That would be mine.
Havertz. And to come back to that dreaded centre midfield position to partner Jorginho.
Let's put. I'm trying to pick out the best player to go in there.
Kante.
Sorry.
N'Golo Kante.
N'Golo Conte. Yeah, we'll pick up the Real Madrid or one of the managers from Europe and put them in there. Yeah, I think I'd put Kante in. He's not playing well at the moment, but put him in there. Kante.
Okay. He's playing Loftus-Cheek at the moment, Steve, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
He's playing Loftus-Cheek a lot at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he is playing, but I mean, I think that Loftus-Cheek doesn't inspire me particularly at the moment. I just think he's a bit too prone to lose the ball. Whereas those two midfielders are likely to get the ball back and use it better.
Fair enough. So, Steve's Chelsea lineup is Mendy and goal, back three of Sarr, Silva and Reece James, Jorginho, Conte, Alonso, Azpilicueta, Werner, Havertz and Mount. To get it in the chat, who's the player you fear? That's Simon as a Chelsea fan. Do you agree with that? What would you change? And let's go around the room looking at that. We'll start with you, Budgie, this time. Does that fear you, and what player particularly does fear you? I mean, it's not a bad attacking lineup, is it?
It's for me, that's kind of like a typical Chelsea lineup, isn't it? One that you can never underestimate. And every single one of them players on there is capable of hurting you. You know, even Mendy, because he can pull off some miraculous saves at times. The one player that I would probably be inclined to watch would be N'Golo Kante if he's playing.
Yeah.
I think, for me, I mean, his distribution's incredible. His running ability is good. He's strong. He's clever with the ball. Yeah, I think I would probably worry about him getting a few assists.
Yeah, I think so. He's on his day. He's one of the best in that position. Mike, quick fire, one player.
Yeah, Havertz. I think he's been quite well recently. Yeah, I do like him as a player. Actually, when he started, he took a little while. He was a bit of a slow burner, but he looks a good player. I mean, Budgie just said, there's a lot of players on that pitch that can cause you problems.
Oh, for sure.
And what about Pulisic? Is he injured or is he?
I think he's injured.
He's got a lot of pace, that guy. I mean, he is.
Yes.
But he's another one that's sort of been fits and starts, really. He's not been consistent. But Havertz, I think, has been more consistent. Werner, he's starting to get, starting to cause a few problems and set up a few goals. He's not scored as many as I thought he would do. I thought this guy, when he came over, I thought he was going to scare defences in the Premier League, and he's not really done that. But I think he is improving now. So, yeah, it's a good side. It's a decent team.
Indeed. And Gary, a different player from who wasn't mentioned. Who's the player you fear from that lineup, if that's what comes out?
I said anything, it was Werner, because I really like him. I think he's got great pace. He lacks a bit of composure at the end, but I'd love to take him. And the other one we haven't mentioned is Mason Mount, of course, plays for England. always does well against us. Very good player. So as the gentleman all said, the front three can all hurt us. It's going to be very tough. Virgil van Dawson and Alan Dawson's going to have
come
good.
2 o'clock tomorrow, it'll be a completely different lineup.
Well, you know, it's a game of opinion. You know, Jan thinks it'll be completely different. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But right then, so we're having a little bit of a throwback Troj here. This was a team that beat Chelsea in November, just to reminisce that. So it was, of course, Fabianski, Dawson. Love Zuma in there tomorrow. 4-0, 71st minute. Diop, Soufal, Royce, Souček, Johnson, Masuaku came on. Bowen, Lanzini, Benrahma late on as always, and Antonio. The Chelsea lineup: Mendy, Christiansen, Thiago Silva, Rudiger, James, Loftus-Cheek, Jorginho, Alonso, Pulisic on the 73rd minute, Hudson-Odoi on the 64th, Ziyech, Mount, Havertz and Lukaku early in the second half. So moving on then. I think it's a difficult game, but I think the midfield is where it can be won or lost. Do you think that's where it'll be won or lost? Gary, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I think we've got a very strong midfield. I think Rice and Souček will certainly can overrun Jorginho, and Kante's not the player he was, I don't think. So if those two play, then I think we should be strong in centre midfield. So yeah, it's a good point, Jake. I just worry about the defence. I think Rice is going to have to spend a lot of time protecting the back three or four, whatever we do. So it's going to be a difficult game tomorrow. So, but central midfield is definitely key. I agree.
Oh yeah, for sure. Mike, any differing opinions to that?
No, I think midfield is where most games are won and lost, aren't they, really? I mean, Gary's got it right there. I think Rice will. I think he's going to sit a lot deeper and pick up bits and pieces. You know, against teams like this, so we're better against better teams. We've been like against Burnley last week. I mean, when we got a lot of the ball, we're not great. You know, we just couldn't break them down. But we're still going to be, you know, if we can still hit teams on the break, that's the way we play. You know, we can suck it up, and hopefully Bowen, Antonio, 4-0s, you know, can make those runs and cause Chelsea. Because Chelsea are going to be worried because that's a lot of goals they've conceded in the last few games. Defensively, they're going to be worried about, you know, Bowen, Antonio, 4-0s, Souček. You know, they know we can cause them problems as well. So yeah, midfield to battle. It always will be. I just hope that Rice stands, you know, firm and wins a lot of the ball. And we can sort of counterattack and cause them problems. Definitely. I mean, remember Mendy had an absolute screaming nightmare against us at the London Stadium, and that might
because we put pressure under him, no? Because we put pressure under him.
You're right, Jake. We put balls in the box. He messed up, didn't he? Punched one in his own there, and then he let that one in from, you know, Arthur's cross shot thing at the end, which, you know. It could still be in his head. I mean, let's put some crosses in on him again early on, you know, get Souček and Dawson on him. And, you know, it's a game we just got to go for.
Yeah.
Budgie, we talk about how crucial Dawson is at the defensive part of his game, but we also may not forget his attacking capabilities in terms of corners and headed goals as well. How crucial is us getting the ball into the box and challenging the Chelsea defence aerially from corners and set pieces as well?
I think you're absolutely right. You know, on the set pieces and stuff, corners, you got to get Dawson in the box. You've also got to get Souček in the box, and it's also, you know, I think it's absolutely imperative that we have Lanzini on the 18-yard line, because that's where he's best used on corners and stuff. He loves to get like the loose ball come to him, you know. So I think that, you know, the midfield is definitely going to be key tomorrow. As you say, I can see Rice dropping a little deeper. But I think Lanzini's going to be the key in midfield. I think he's going to be him, providing he's playing, of course, you know.
hopefully we see the Lanzini that we have seen at times this season, buzzing around, winning the ball back, being creative, which we haven't seen as much. So we're happy I'm right. And then in the last couple of weeks, we want to see him back because he's an incredibly dangerous player. But let's hope he starts.
You've also got to remember that he's not long had a child, and he was involved in a car accident.
Let's not
So,
forget that as well.
There's a few factors there as to why his game might not have been 100%. But I mean, like you said, a few brilliant performances. Like when we played Man City in the Carabao Cup, I thought Lanzini was incredible in that game. He was my man of the match for that game, if I'm honest with you. I think that I think he's going to be key tomorrow. He likes playing against Chelsea as well.
He does. Yeah. He certainly does. Well, we'll have to wait and see whether he gets involved. But Steve, coming back to you before I ask you a question, Dad says, Jake, Steve will know this, but remember our good friend Chris on these match days.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Indeed.
Good lad, Chris. Went to many a Chelsea game with him. I was officially his pusher, which is a strange way that they actually put it on the ticket, but because who knows, if anybody saw the ticket, they wonder what you were doing. But yeah, Chris was one of the disabled supporters who was a great friend of your dad and myself. Yeah.
Lovely stuff. We've mentioned there, West Ham are so prolific in terms of corners and set pieces and scoring from the likes of Dawson from dead ball situations. How can you see Chelsea dealing with that tomorrow? Because that's definitely a way we're going to try and break you down. Yeah,
I mean, that's why I think that you're likely to have Silva playing in the middle of the defence, because I just think that without Rudiger, who's really the cornerstone in the defence, we've got to have somebody there who's got a little bit of a calmer head, because I do think, sometimes we're rabbits in headlights, so we need Silva there to calm it all down. I don't know how the guy does it, but I watched him even in that game when he came on against Arsenal. How he makes the room and the time and the space, I have absolutely no idea, because he's surrounded by people, but all of a sudden he's a bit like Moses in the Red Sea. It just sort of parts and everybody gives him space, and I don't quite understand it, but hoping he's going to be the key for keeping the defence under control and dealing with aerial threats, really. Because if you lob a ball up the ground and he's underneath it, doesn't matter where you lob it, it just seems, he's got a magnetic head, I think.
Well, so has Ballon Dawson, so we'll have to wait and see the battle of the magnetic heads, indeed. But let's take some more comments then. Hammerhead says Havertz surely isn't a strong captain. He may not be, but he's a good player. He's really starting to come into his own at Chelsea, so definitely one to watch there. George says we need to go to wing backs like we did in November. I can see what you mean, but I think wing backs, we just especially Dawson, I think he overthinks things. The players go for the same ball. We saw it at Spurs. We were not very good defensively at Spurs. We played a back 3/5, and I don't think it suits the way we play our defenders. And I just don't think it's the way to go forward. But who knows? Mandy, hope you're hi everyone. I only realised today that we have Arsenal, Chelsea and Man City in our last 5 fixtures. We do, but we've got Norwich in there as well. Have hope. Let's hope so. But we do tend, though, Mandy, let's not lie, we tend to turn up against a good side. We didn't against Arsenal, but we have against Chelsea. We played all right at the Etihad. We turn up against these sides. We did beat you in December. Simon, so to be fair, we were knackered and off the pace because the Chelsea annual lunch, that Chelsea annual lunch, you were there, weren't you, Simon? You've only mentioned it about 55 times since you went. You were at that Chelsea annual lunch, just like you'll be in that special box, I expect, tomorrow, watching it, drinking from the free bar tomorrow, Simon, or are you with the other peasants tomorrow? Let us know. King Arthur scored the goal of the season.
We're not allowed to have lunches now.
Oh, they're not. Oh, Christ, Simon, what are you going to do? Hammerhead says Chelsea haven't lost more than 3 at home since before Abramovich took over. So let's do it. Come on, yours, indeed. Let's do it. Come on, 3 in a row at home. Let's do it. Why not? Why not? Troja's lineup is going for Fabianski, Fornals, Johnson, Dawson, Sufile, Fredericks, Rice, Souček, Lanzini, Benrahma, and Antonio. Wing backs, drop Creswell. We won last time without him and could save him because, you know, he's not the quickest and could save him for Thursday, a big rest. The only thing I say about wing backs is as well that it puts some pace in our side. If we start Fredericks, it brings some pace in. We're an incredibly paceless side, and that helps us massively at times. Fornals at left wing back, he's played all right there. Guy says, if Rice holds back, hopefully we see the old Souček. Massive game for him because he can't afford to be a passenger tomorrow. He's got to be in the game, getting his foot in, you know, impacting the game, which he hasn't done too much this season. Let's scroll down. Reese, hope you are. Hello, Jake. You get to sign one player this transfer window. Who are you taking? Realistic, I'm going to go. Oh, I don't know. Realistic, I'm going to go. I'll tell you what, I'll come back to it because I got to think about that. I don't know. Mandy says, I would like to see Benny, Vlasic and Bowen for this. No Antonio, Lanzini, Souček and Russ. Ooh, hello. Let's mix things up indeed. But whilst I think about that question about who would I sign, let's go on to some predictions. Who wants to start?
I will.
Go on, Budgie. Go on. I'll tell you what, it's the best thing when there's quite a few on here because my rule is nobody can have the same prediction. So going first is the best thing. What's your prediction?
Oh, well,
I'm going to have to go with my bet then, aren't I? You know?
Yeah.
2-1 to West Ham.
Oh, flipping hell. I learn every single time I should go first, but I'll go last now. I'll take whatever's left. Mike?
I think it'd be a draw. I think it'd be 1-1.
Gary?
I think it's going to be a draw.
2-2.
Oh, Desmond. Steve?
I think it's going to be an odd goal in it in favour of Chelsea. So I'll say 3-2 because we're not very good at keeping goals out.
Masuaku has it on that left-hand side. Oh, what's he done? It's 3-2 to West Ham, and that's what it's going to be again. 3-2 West Ham. Steve's going 3-2 Chelsea. I'm going 3-2 West Ham. There's going to be 5 goals in this game. It's going to be a defensive calamity for Chelsea yet again. We're going to concede to Havertz and Werner to get the goals. Dawson, Bowen and Antonio to get back on a score sheet. For the mighty Hammers, we could pick up 3 points with barely a sweat, and we move on to Thursday night at home in our momentous game against Frankfurt. Who would take that?
Be fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't Thursday.
Yeah, Steve will take it. He's all right. Well, Steve will take it.
I'm coming back Monday. I'm coming back Monday to gloat.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Simon says going to Weatherspoon's brunch. I'll tell you what, even you, Simon, make Weatherspoons sound so fancy. Brunch, Weatherspoon's brunch. Don't you have lunch or breakfast? Weatherspoons, they don't do brunch. It's breakfast or lunch. £1.99 for a pint of Guinness. That's it. That's literally it. See, Steve, you should have the same optimism as this Chelsea fan. Chelsea 0, West Ham 4.
Bring back 1986.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Rudiger missing is a massive miss.
I do hope that previous guy is realising that we're trying to sell the club for a reasonable amount of money, not trying to give it away. And you know.
Let's take some more of your comments. 2-1 Chelsea. Oh, I hope that's reverse psychology. Come on, Hammerhead. You don't do that. 2-1 Chelsea, he says. 1-1, 1-1, 1-1. Anyone else for a 1-1? Oh, Sharky comes in with a 1-0. 1-0. There we go. Someone says, I would like to see Benny. You might see him for 20 minutes at the end, but apart from that, I don't think you will. Gary says, 5 at the back, 2-1 win. Hit them on the break. 4 at the back. We're in trouble. Someone wake Jake up. Crikey, am I falling asleep? No. Scruffy 2-1 win, says Reese. Right, coming back to Reese's comment then. So the one player I would like to sign is, drumroll, Darwin Núñez, a striker, a flipping good quality striker as well. Someone reminded me, here we go, realistically, probably Núñez, and I respect that. Darwin Núñez, fantastic player. Just thinking with my head, fair enough, Hammerhead, fair enough. But I hope you're going to predict a win on Thursday night, mate. Let's go on to some final thoughts then. Steve, I'll start with you to get it out the way. Let's have some of your final thoughts.
If you've got to play us, I think it's a good time to play us, but I think we can hold on.
Fair enough. Gary?
Yeah, I agree. It's a good time to play Chelsea. What I want is a strong, energetic performance, and please God, no more injuries for Thursday.
No defensive, especially no defensive injuries. Mike?
Yeah, top of the list, no injuries. Good performance. Take it in the Thursday night, and hopefully we'll have a party Thursday night.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Right, I haven't asked this question to Gary and Mike because I have it every single week. Budgie, you're about to have Jake's favourite question asked to you.
Cool.
Mike knows it. Gary knows it. It's 10 minutes until kickoff. Reverse to tomorrow. You've got the lads in the dressing room. What are you saying before they go out and play?
Go smash them, boys. You can do it. They're no better than Leon, so get out there and do it. That's what
Get
I
out there and do it.
At the moment, actually, actually, the thing is, at the moment, Chelsea have been a bit fragile. They've had a few good, performances, but their results haven't always been best. But I think if we get at them tomorrow and we, put a few balls in that box, I fancy us to win.
Yeah.
And I would tell the boys that in the changing room, get at them, fancy us to win.
Get out there and win. Get out there and win. Get out there for them 3,000 West Ham fans and their Declan Rice. Prove all them idiots wrong who's saying you're going to move. Come back. Put a performance in against Chelsea. When we win, you go over to that away and you go to Mason Mount and say, I'm not coming to Chelsea. You ain't got no money. I'm not going to United. I'm not going to City. I'm not going to Real Madrid. Staying here at West Ham United. So that hurt. That hurt. But,
can I just give you a funny stat I heard today?
Oh, we love a funny stat.
Yeah. Do you know that Chelsea have had more wins at Wembley than Tottenham, bearing in mind they played a whole season in the stadium?
I'll tell you what, that is brilliant.
My brother told me that. He's a Chelsea fan. And even he believes that we're going to win tomorrow.
Good on him.
I tell you what, Sean's going to be on the Premier League Roundup show on Monday night. That's the first thing I'm going to say to him. That is the first thing I'm going to say to him. I absolutely love that. As Budgie would say, take away their ankles. Take them away, put them in a box and say, thank you very much for doing the double. Doing the double. Do it for Ukraine. Exactly.
I can't cope with take away their ankles, boys. I'm a referee, for goodness sake. No, I can't do that. I cannot condone that in the slightest. That's the sort of thing that happens on a Saturday, and I have to deal with it. So no, we'll stop that.
I'm sure it's mere sarcasm from Budgie. Sarcasm. Maybe mere sarcasm towards everybody but Spurs. So we'll deal with that.
Perhaps Budgie should have said clip their wings.
That's probably, yeah. Yeah, go out there and ruffle their feathers or something,
Go out there and politely ruffle their feathers. Scott Minto Derby. Yes, indeed. There we go. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching this match preview. We will be there tomorrow, so there'll be no match day schedule. There'll be no build-up show and instant match reaction after, because we're not quite at the stage where I get to ask somebody to do it all for me whilst we're at games. We're not quite at that stage yet, but we will one day. Don't worry. So of course there'll be a match day vlog Monday morning. I'll try and do some match day content tomorrow, providing we get some decent Wi-Fi at stages. Hopefully it's a good away day. Hopefully we pick up all 3 points. And who do you think will win? West Ham United. And it's done. From me, thank you very much for watching. Simon, here he comes, the carefree. Honestly, Simon, you know deep down who's going to win tomorrow. You know deep down. Thank you very much. From me, come on you irons, drop a like on the video, subscribe before we go, become a channel member, hit the join button. Mike, if you could stay on after, I want to speak to you for a second, and Gary as well. Budgie, thank you very much for coming on for the first time.
No problem.
Mike, Gary, thanks as always. And Steve, thank you very much. And I wish you no luck tomorrow.
The feeling is reciprocated.
Exactly. That's it from us. We'll catch you soon. Come on, you irons. Let's do it. Let's do it just so I can wind up Simon Monday night on the build-up show. We'll catch you soon. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.